For years, he dreamed about winning the lottery. Like millions of people, he imagined paying off his debts, helping his parents retire, traveling the world, and finally living without financial stress. He believed that if he ever became rich, life would become simpler. He couldn't have been more wrong. The numbers were announced on a quiet Friday night. One by one, every number on his ticket matched. He stared at it in disbelief. Then he checked it again and again. By sunrise, he had become an overnight millionaire. His family celebrated. His friends congratulated him. His brother hugged him and said, "Nothing will ever come between us." But within a few short months, that same brother would refuse to speak to him. Old friends would accuse him of changing. Distant relatives he had never met would suddenly demand a share of his fortune. And the family that once shared everything would begin fighting over money they had never earned. The lottery didn't create the conflict. It simply exposed the cracks that had been hidden beneath the surface for years. This is the story of how one winning lottery ticket turned a family's greatest dream into its greatest tragedy. Growing up, they never had much money. Their parents worked long hours just to keep food on the table, and luxuries were almost non-existent. Birthdays were simple, vacations were rare, and every dollar had a purpose. But despite their financial struggles, the two brothers were incredibly close. They shared a bedroom for most of their childhood, borrowed each other's clothes, and often talked late into the night about how different life would be if they ever became rich. Sometimes, while driving home from work, they joked about winning the lottery. "If one of us ever wins," the older brother would laugh, "we'll both be rich." At the time, it felt like nothing more than an impossible dream. Neither of them imagined that one day those words would be tested. One Friday evening, after finishing work, he stopped at the same convenience store he had visited for years. Almost as an afterthought, he bought a lottery ticket. There was nothing special about that day. No lucky feeling, no strange coincidence, just another ordinary purchase on an ordinary evening. Later that night, while watching the numbers being announced on television, his heart began racing. The first number matched, then the second, then the third. By the time the final number appeared, his hands were shaking so badly he could barely hold the ticket. He had won. Not a few $1,000s, not even a few $100,000. He had won enough money to change the rest of his life forever. The first few weeks felt like a dream. His parents cried tears of joy, friends threw a celebration in his honor, neighbors congratulated him. Even relatives he hadn't spoken to in years suddenly began calling to catch up. At first, he was happy to help. He paid off his parents' mortgage, he donated to a local charity, he surprised his brother with a brand new truck as a thank you for years of unwavering support. He believed money could make everyone happier. For a little while, it seemed true. But gratitude slowly gave way to expectation. People stopped saying thank you. Instead, they started asking, "What else are you going to do for us?" The first argument seemed insignificant. His brother wanted help starting a business. He agreed. Months later, the business failed. His brother returned, asking for more money. This time, he hesitated. He suggested creating a financial plan before investing again. His brother didn't hear concern. He heard rejection. Soon, every family gathering became uncomfortable. Small disagreements turned into accusations. "You've changed. You think you're better than us now. Money made you selfish." The irony was painful. He was still the same person, but everyone around him seemed to be seeing him differently. The conversations were no longer about family. They were about what they believed they deserved. One evening, the brothers sat together for what would become their final conversation. His brother looked at him and quietly said, If I had won instead of you, I would have shared everything." The words stayed with him long after the conversation ended. He wanted to believe them, but deep down he wasn't sure anyone could know what they would do until they were in that position. Over the following months, the distance between them grew wider. Phone calls stopped, holiday invitations disappeared, family celebrations became divided. The winning lottery ticket still sat locked inside a safe, but the life it had promised no longer existed. Years later, people would ask him what it felt like to become a millionaire overnight. He always gave the same answer. Winning the lottery was easy. Learning who truly loved me was the expensive part. Looking back, he realized the money had never destroyed his family. It had simply revealed the emotions that had been quietly growing beneath the surface all along. Jealousy, resentment, entitlement, and expectations that no amount of wealth could ever satisfy. At first, this story appears to be about winning the lottery, but beneath the surface it reveals something much deeper. It isn't really about money, it's about expectations, identity, family, and the uncomfortable truth that financial success often exposes emotions that were already there. Money rarely creates a person's character. More often, it magnifies it. Psychologists have observed that people who experience an unexpected financial windfall can go through a period of intense emotional adjustment, sometimes called sudden wealth syndrome. Most people imagine that becoming wealthy will immediately bring happiness and peace of mind. In reality, sudden wealth often creates new pressures. People begin asking for financial help. Relationships become more complicated. Every decision feels heavier because saying yes or no can permanently change how others see you. The challenge is no longer earning money, it's learning to manage expectations, both your own and everyone else's. One of the most painful changes after a financial windfall is how quickly gratitude can turn into expectation. At first, family members may appreciate each act of generosity, but over time, repeated help can begin to feel like something they deserve rather than something freely given. Psychologists refer to this as entitlement, the belief that we are owed something simply because of our relationship with another person. Once entitlement takes hold, every boundary can feel like rejection. A simple "I can't help this time" may be interpreted as betrayal instead of a reasonable limit. The conflict is no longer about money, it's about unmet expectations. Human beings naturally compare themselves with the people around them. This tendency is known as social comparison. When two brothers grow up with similar opportunities, their lives often feel balanced. But when one suddenly becomes extremely wealthy, that balance changes. Even if the relationship remains the same, the emotional perception of fairness may not. Questions begin to appear. Why him and not me? If we're family, shouldn't we share everything? Jealousy doesn't always appear as anger. Sometimes it hides behind disappointment, criticism, or emotional distance. A common saying suggests that money changes people. There is some truth to that, but another perspective may be even more accurate. Money removes limitations. It gives people the freedom to act on feelings they may have hidden for years. Generosity can become even more generous. Kindness can become even more compassionate. But greed, resentment, and envy can also become impossible to ignore. In many cases, wealth doesn't introduce new emotions, it amplifies the ones that were already waiting beneath the surface. Healthy relationships are built on respect, communication, and mutual care, not financial transactions. When love becomes conditional on money, the relationship slowly begins to change. The greatest gift we can offer our family is not unlimited financial support. It is honesty, healthy boundaries, and the ability to say both yes and no without fear. Because generosity without boundaries often becomes expectation, and expectation, left unchecked, can quietly become resentment. Sometimes the most valuable thing a person owns isn't a winning lottery ticket. It's the ability to know who would still stand beside them if every dollar disappeared tomorrow. Money can buy comfort, it can buy opportunity, but it cannot buy genuine loyalty. And that may be the most valuable lesson of all. When people asked him what it felt like to win millions of dollars, they expected to hear a story about luxury, freedom, and happiness. Instead, he would quietly smile and say, "The lottery gave me everything I thought I wanted, and took away things I never thought I could lose." He didn't lose his house. He didn't lose his money. He lost something far more difficult to replace: the certainty that the people around him loved him for who he was, not for what he had. Looking back, he realized the winning ticket had never changed his family overnight. The money simply illuminated emotions that had been hidden beneath years of ordinary life. Jealousy, expectation, resentment, fear, all of them had been quietly waiting for the right moment to surface. But there was another truth hidden inside this story. Not everyone walked away. A few friends stayed. A few family members never asked for a single dollar. They called just to ask how he was doing. They reminded him that genuine relationships don't carry a price tag. And perhaps those people became the greatest prize he ever received. Because in the end, wealth isn't measured only by the number in a bank account. It's measured by the people who remain beside you when there is nothing left for them to gain. Money can open doors. It can change where we live, what we drive, and how we spend our time. But it can never replace trust. It can never purchase loyalty, and it can never guarantee love. Sometimes life's greatest blessings arrive wrapped in unexpected lessons. For him, the lottery wasn't just a test of financial responsibility. It was a test of every relationship he had ever believed was unbreakable. And although the truth was painful, it gave him something priceless: the ability to see people exactly as they were, not through the excitement of sudden wealth, but through the choices they made when money entered the picture. If this story made you reflect on family, friendship, and the true value of loyalty, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe money changes people, or does it simply reveal who they have always been? Share your perspective in the comments below. If you enjoy true stories that explore the psychology behind real human behavior, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because every story has two sides, but only one truth.